live in Karen's Corner for the first Karen's Corner in the new house, the shed. We're in a garage, not a basement anymore. And we're here with Stefi Cohen, the strongest female powerlifter of all time. Some guy that lives down the street that buries his money in his backyard. And Karen's Corner. All right, who the hell are you? Well, we already said who she was. What the hell are you doing at Karen's Corner? Tell us about yourself.
Actually, I don't even know what I'm doing here anymore. We got a message by this crazy guy.
Yes.
Asking me if I wanted to come work out. I said, hey, why not? Seems legit. And here we are.
She's pretty much been kidnapped the whole day.
Yeah.
We did all kinds of dumbass videos in the shed. I drank a lot of beer. And she's...
I almost broke my dry January.
Yeah.
This is not beer. This is a beer.
That's a fake beer.
That's a Fugazi.
Yeah. What was the rest of the question?
I don't remember. What was the rest of the question? Kim?
What are you doing here?
What am I doing here?
No, that was the question.
Well, she answered the question. Well, I got a great question. When was the first time you ever drank, and what is your favorite beer or alcohol?
Okay, so I was born and raised in Venezuela, and so kids in Venezuela could go to parties at a very young age without any ID or anything like that you need here. So I think the first time I went clubbing, I was 13 or 14.
Well, no wonder you're such a
So
dancer.
probably the first time that I had a beer, I was, who knows, 9 or 10.
Holy shit.
Something? Yeah. My parents were firm believers that if you prohibit your kids from having drinks, then they're gonna want them more. And so I think the first time I asked my dad to have a beer, he just gave it to me. Yeah.
That's like the first time I ever had a beer. I think it was 3, but I was just like sipping. It was an empty can.
Yeah, no,
My real
I
first
had a
beer
beer
was
with my dad.
shit, somewhere in high school or something. You beat me.
Yeah.
She's a fucking professional.
Professional.
It's common if you're
I'm a
not from the
connoisseur.
United States.
Connoisseur. And I actually love beer, but I don't drink this cheap shit. I drink draft
Jesus.
beer.
Come to my bar and make...
Draft beers.
No,
brother.
craft, not draft.
Oh, okay.
Craft beer.
Yeah. Comes to my bar and makes fun of my beer. Well, what's your favorite drink?
Favorite drink, mixed drink, a mojito. Lime mojito, just classic. Favorite beer, I go for dark beers, like stouts.
Oh, gross.
Gross?
Yeah. I don't like those dark beers. It's like eating a whole meal. I like to have like 30 beers, you know?
He cries when I drink IPAs.
Yeah.
My beers are good.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, well, going on that, what is the craziest story that you have?
Okay, craziest story.
Craziest
So,
story.
I like to travel. And I like to travel by myself for the longest time. And so, one of my trips, I was, I think 19 or 20, I went to Vancouver. And during one of the hikes, because there's like a lot of mountains there, that's kind of what you do.
Yeah.
During one of those hikes, I met a group of kids that were my age that apparently they just lived in the woods, like at the bottom of the mountain. And what they did was all they would eat was stuff that they hunted. Like that has a name. Like that style of diet has a name, they told me.
They live off the land?
I don't know, it has a name, like when you hunt and you only eat what you hunt. And they asked me if
Hunter and a gatherer.
well, whatever. And they asked me if I wanted to spend the night with them, like in their tent. It was like a group of 10 people.
I think I'd get out of
And
there.
I'm like, you know what? Sick. I'll do it. Doesn't sound like a bad idea at all. And so we came down the mountain and they didn't have food.
Are you
for
by
that
yourself?
Day. By myself. They didn't have food for that day. I hope my mom doesn't listen to this story, by the way, because I've never told her.
This is a good story then.
And we come down the mountain. They didn't hunt that day, so they didn't have anything to eat. So we went to a soup kitchen, right? And we sat there and we ate with the rest of the homeless people that were there. And then I spent the night there. We did like a bonfire and just like slept in a tent with a bunch of other people that I didn't know. And then I woke up the next day and I left.
So how the hell did you get to British Columbia right now? You're Vancouver.
Vancouver.
How did you get there? And why'd you go there to begin with?
No reason really. I just kind of wanted to go.
You just wanted to go and you showed up and then you partied with People that live off the land?
And then this is the craziest part. The craziest part is that then afterwards, I looked up some of the kids that I spent the night with on Facebook, and they were extremely wealthy. Like they came from like ridiculously rich families. They have like yachts and helicopters and airplanes.
And they ate a soup kitchen.
They ate at a soup kitchen and they just lived in the bottom of the mountain. That was bizarre, really.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. What do you think, Cam?
That's wild.
I mean, it's not like wild crazy, you know, but it's pretty crazy.
It's way wild.
You gotta sleep in a tent with people you don't know, and you're a 120-pound female, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, what's the next question? What motivates you to lift? What's your motivator? Mine's to look good naked and be strong as hell. That's my motivator.
My motivation is that I don't know, I guess anything that I do, I always want to be the best at. It sounds kind of silly when you say it out loud, but my motivation is just to be the best.
Sure. Well, that's motivation.
Yeah.
Who inspires you, and who are your favorite male and female powerlifters? These questions are from Instagram. I don't know who sent them in, but.
What inspires me? Anyone who follows their passions and is willing to work really hard for it.
Passion is my fucking passion.
Being passionate is your passion?
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
And who are my favorite male and female powerlifters? Male Dan Green, female Susan Salazar.
I thought you were going to say Cam Eden.
Yeah. Nobody knows you. You live off the land, don't you?
Sort of.
Right? You don't have the internet. How do you balance your strength training and your athletic conditioning?
Okay, so in the off season is a little bit easier to do, just because the off seasons are usually the time that I take to, one, focus on weaknesses, things that I'm not good at, and two, just improve my health. But I'm not that worried about improving my strength, and so the priority for me is just to do more cardio, get better health. So I don't really in the off season I don't really worry about how that really affects my strength, but it gets a little bit more complicated when you get into the season, closer and closer to competitions. But usually, as a rule of thumb, if you do one or two top three, maybe conditioning cardio sessions that are less than half an hour in length, it usually doesn't have any sort of like negative effect on your strength. That's kind of like my rule of thumb.
What does it mean to you to know that you inspire so many women for you lifting, and how you address the negative stigma women face who lift?
I mean, it feels good that I can inspire people to find confidence within themselves just by doing what I like to do without having to change. So feels good to be part of the movement and to actually see
just being yourself.
Yeah, just being yourself, just being myself, and actually see via Instagram how more and more girls are.
Tons of women are like into powerlifting now.
Yeah.
10 years ago there was none.
Yeah.
I remember going to powerlifting meets and all that was there was big fat guys. That was it.
Yeah.
Now in the last 5 years or whatever, there's like women like taking over.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was just talking to Brian Moss yesterday. He's the photographer at Animal.
Yeah.
And he's been working for Animal for the last 40 years, but even before that, he's been trying to get more barbells into women's hands. And he showed me this pamphlet for his gym that he opened in like the 70s or earlier. And the pamphlet said first strength or bodybuilding gym for women. And then at the bottom it said as well as men. So it's just cool. I was having this conversation with him yesterday about like how long it's really taken for a long time for women to be accepting, for society to be accepting of women who lift weights and who want to have an athletic build and who want to be stronger and look the way they want to look. So.
Well, this is a good segue. What is your most embarrassing moment in the gym?
I have a few, but so last year, preparing for the U.S. Open, I had one really, really bad training session. And, well, not one, I had a ton, but this one was just the one that how do you say it in English? Like fill the glass, or glass to the top, whatever. Like the last drop. What do you say? Last
straw.
Last drop.
The last
yeah,
straw,
the last
yeah,
drop
yeah.
for me. And I failed. I failed the deadlift. I always say that. Okay, I've been here for 8 years. My English is very well, academically and conversational, obviously, but culturally, with like.
I have not understood a word you said this whole bar talk. Keep going.
I'm 8 years old, culturally, because I've only been here for 8 years. So, like sayings and quotes and cultural references and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, the last
Well, you get along so well. I'm probably like 12 years old.
Almost.
So last draw, really bad. Few sessions in a row, and I just kind of missed that bell. I didn't even come off the floor. I just ripped my bell off and smashed it against a weight tree that had the roller for the wraps, the wrap roller.
Yeah.
It's like that
The
super
wrap roller.
expensive $500 machine, and I smashed it against it with like all my strength, and the thing just exploded into the gym.
That was at your gym?
At my gym. It was embarrassing just because that's not something that you want to show your members. It's definitely not good sportsmanship.
Yeah. Not good sportsmanship. Speaking of sportsmanship, what sports?
I feel like I'm way too appropriate to be talking to you. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like I'm being way too serious.
You're
That's
very
every
serious.
day of my life.
But like that's who I am, but I
Every
feel
day of
awkward
my
for
life.
some reason.
Well,
Yeah, you better dumb it down like this far to top the top.
don't listen to the lady talking in the corner of the bar. She has no idea what she's saying. She's trying to take care of a goat that's over there. For Christ's sake, so that's probably all the people can hear is that goat. Well,
I don't know who brought a baby to the bar.
what was the next one? What sports have you played? Yeah, right?
Yeah,
We know that.
I grew up playing soccer. So I played.
Football, right?
Yeah, it doesn't exist. Football. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I found out firsthand tonight that she is a very good kicker. I did a 500-pound bench tonight and had her kick me right in the nuts. So, she's got a good leg on her.
Good times.
Do you plan on franchising hybrid gym?
Yes.
What? That's going to be all over the country? That's your plan? God. Maybe you can become a franchisee.
Could do.
Huh?
So your money out.
What?
What did you say earlier?
What did I
Scoop
say?
that paper up.
Extra paper, scoop them up.
What do you listen to when you lift? Besides sad country songs that we did today.
Oh my gosh.
And what was the other one? The Macarena you played for us? Right?
That was torture. No, I usually play Metallica.
Yeah, Metallica's good.
That's
That's what I
good
played a
too.
lot, yeah. But you played some other song. What the hell was that?
Yeah, that's not.
What was it called?
Reggaeton.
Reggaeton. I'm gonna look that up, put it on Huck Fit Barbell playlist. Spotify. Where would you like to visit that you haven't visited? Besides, yeah, the shed probably was your number one choice.
Yeah. Like, just places, it doesn't have to be a country, or a country. Or just anywhere that I want to visit.
I don't know, like I love visiting, say, where do I want to visit? Key West. I like Key West.
Okay.
Maybe Hybrid Gym, Miami, Florida.
I see.
Karen's Corner, Illinois.
I want to visit Juji Mofu's gym. Or
Oh yeah, that garage gym.
Yeah. Looks like
It's
a
in
fun
North
time.
Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, I'd like to visit that too.
I've been telling him that I'm gonna go visit and I never go. I should.
Yeah. It's not far from here.
No, it's like a 2-hour flight.
That's all the questions I have. You have any questions for her?
Answered most of them. Just impressed.
Impressed with what?
The lifting.
Yeah, she did 225. She benched 225. Not only can she deadlift, out deadlift you, out fucking squat you, and out bench you. I mean, she benched 225 for 3 reps. She's a 120-pound female. That's pretty fucking good.
Wild.
A female that can double their body weight. If a male can double their body weight, that's good.
I don't know any 120-pound guys that can bench 225.
Matt Wallace.
How many 120-pound guys do you know?
Yeah, not many. Right?
Matt Wallace.
Yeah, maybe him. I don't know, he can't bench that much.
I don't
Right?
know. Never seen a bench.
All right, well, this concludes the new bar talk. Stefi Cohen, you got any last words?
I wanted to ask you what your most embarrassing story was.
Yeah, let her ask questions.
Yeah.
My most embarrassing lifting story or story?
That's your story.
Well, I was at a Hank Williams Jr. Leonard Skinner concert. You ever heard of them?
No.
It's a kind of country music festival, singers. Peoria, Illinois. And I decided to get, well, I'm gonna back up. I was dancing with a woman who I guess had a boyfriend that I didn't know of. The boyfriend saw me and was scared of me, so he told the bouncers, or the security, that I was dancing with his girlfriend and I was drunk and all this. So security came and I got in an argument with security over it, and then they threw me out. Then I proceeded to get completely naked.
Do you want to specify what year this was?
This was year
This was BK before
circa
before Karen.
2005 or so. It's been a long time ago.
It's 5.
So, long story short, I ran through downtown Peoria, Illinois, completely naked. The cops chased me. They finally got me. Next thing you know, I passed out. I woke up in a drunk tank. I don't know if you've ever been in one of those, but it's like a cell with 10, 15 people, and it's in jail. There's one toilet, and I have my clothes right here, and I'm passed out, and I wake up, it's like 5 a.m., and there's a big African-American gentleman pooping right next to me.
Oh.
And I had no idea where I was at or what happened last night. I just knew I was in trouble. And that was probably my...
Did you have to get someone to bail you out, or did they just like let you on the
I like the rest of the story better than the first one.
Well, they let you out on an I. It's called an I bond. So they let you out without bailing out. So I call my father up and I say, Dad, hey, could you pick me up in Peoria? So it's a couple-hour drive to get to me. Yeah, okay, I'll get you. I said, meet me by the Civic Center, which is where they play basketball at. I think it's Civic Center, Bradley Center, wherever. Well, I get there and I don't have a cell phone on me then, so I didn't know where my dad was at. But I see it's 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and there's a bar that's open. Well, I'll go down here and use the telephone, right? It's open. So I go down the stairs, and the bar is kind of packed for a Sunday morning. I can't believe all these people are in here. So I stand, I tell the people, I tell the bartender my whole story, what happened. He laughs, everybody's laughing in there. They let me use the phone. My dad's about 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away. Meet me outside this bar. Okay, son, I'll meet you outside the bar. This very beautiful woman then comes and sits next to me and says, oh, you were at that concert last night? I got big tips last night because of that concert. I said, oh yeah, where do you work? Big Al's. Well, Big Al's is a world-renowned strip joint, so she's a stripper. Well, then I started drinking again heavily with the strippers. And she goes, hey, you should come meet my other friends at this other bar. And I said, well, my dad's picking me up. She goes, well, I'll talk to him. I said, all right, well, okay. So we go upstairs. I hop in the car. I said, hey, Dad, this girl's Aspen. She's a stripper at Big Al's. She wants us to follow her. So she gets over, puts her boobs inside the car. Hi, Mr. Finn, follow us. My dad goes, okay. So I hop in the car, and then we proceed to follow these strippers. And they take a left, and then my dad takes a right, slaps me in the back of the head, and says, you fucking idiot. We follow these strippers, or both end up in jail. Let's get back to Sycamore. Well, that's the end of the story. And all the charges were dropped. They went to court and they dropped all the charges, so nothing ever came out of it.
There's a saying in Spanish that says, the translation's probably gonna be ridiculous, but bear with me. And it says, yeah, how's it? A pubic hair pulls harder than a million trucks.
What the fuck does that mean? A pubic hair?
I
From a
understand that
girl.
perfectly.
I guess, yeah, a pussy hair.
A pussy hair pulls harder than a million trucks.
Uh-huh.
What do you mean?
I walked through a million trucks to get to pussy hair.
No, it means that the girls can get guys to do anything.
Oh, yeah, I get that, yeah. That's probably true, yeah. Well, that concludes bar talk. So, I got 2 words for you. Okay, bye. That was a good ending. A pussy hair. Should write that down somewhere, right?
Yes.
What are you flexing?
How do you say it in Spanish?
The video.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Un pelo de cuca jala más que una grúa.
Un pelo de cuba, la jala de cuba. Okay, I'll remember that. Right.
Well, my rudimentary Spanish can get me along sometimes, but
You still gotta put this window film up.
yeah, I just like to see outside.
And without tits, there's no paradise. You guys say that?
No, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Without tits, there's no paradise. Ain't that the truth?
Tom always